The thing is, the cop perspective, well, I imagine like the non-criminal perspective is probably like, well, if the fines are too cheap, people are just gonna shoot. Listen, bro, I hate to break it to you. The narrative of the server right now is to cause chaos. Everybody has guns that they're not scared of losing because the guns decay. Cops get so aggressive that like a lot of the time you have no choice to shoot. So why should we get punished so severely for like a foregone conclusion? Why should you get punished so severely for the narrative that the server, I don't know if it's the admins, but that people are pushing? Like the people with the whitelist capabilities are pushing a narrative of more chaos happening, and enacting that means that you get fucked so hard that you want to quit the server. Right? I don't know if it's true, but just look at Jackson yesterday. Shot cops, got a hot gun, got 500k in fines, and he's like, I don't want to play anymore. The server narrative is to sow chaos. In enacting chaos, you get fucked so hard that you want to quit. The 3 times catching of guns equal raid or is also to be looked at. This itself, with very good, clean people, would result in never being raided for this sole fact. Yeah, well, the thing about raids, right, is like... the thing about raids is... I think raids should be done on an investigation basis, right? Like, how it looks to me is that at the moment, all of these raids that have happened are... The new legislation or SOP came out about if they have 3 guns, they're going to get raided. What that basically does is it's called like a... I think it's called... I forget what the terminology is. It's called like a rubber stamp. Like, it's like in I don't know if it's like this in other governments, but like in like a split parliament, right? In Australia, when there's too much of a majority of one person, it basically makes it that you can just force through what you want. Because you can just like rubber stamp it. You know, like, we put it to a vote, but I can make sure that I win the vote every time. That's what that raid thing looks like. It lets the raid be guaranteed to happen regardless of any investigative capabilities of, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, it's done. Like, consider the raid done. If you really want it done, the raid will be done. That's what that means to me. Right? Like, now that they've caught me with 9 class 2s, if they decide that they are going to raid Michael Manx, they will. Regardless of any other investigation done. Like, they have the proof in my charges that I have a source of weapons somewhere. And, like, you know, when you say it like that, yeah, you've been caught with so many class 2s, you must be getting them from somewhere. True. But it is just lazy. Like, raids should be done on either a massive mistake on the part of somebody, you know, i.e., I run into this house with a gun out during a shootout, and they catch me doing it. Or they sit down and they use the information at their disposal to find proof that we're doing something illegal here. Yeah, so I think the class 2 thing to me it just seems like a guarantee of it getting done, because you can just keep trying. From my understanding, if they wrote up a raid warrant for me today and said Mike's been caught with 10 class 2s, let's raid him, and they fucked up the warrant and it got denied, someone tomorrow could take another go at it and be like, well, actually, Mike was caught with 10 class 2s and this happened, so here's another raid warrant. Like, I don't think there's like an internal cooldown for how many raid warrants you can submit. Like, if somebody wants to submit a warrant, they can just do it. Like, if a cop wants to submit a warrant for Mike, they can just do it, and then if they fail, someone else can try. Like, they can just keep on pushing it until they finally find the words to articulate it properly, or a judge that will sign it. Yeah, exactly. So, like, the fact that you get a guaranteed raid, you get the fact that okay, actually, you know what the perfect terminology is? It feels like this gun thing gives you guaranteed probable cause. That's what it feels like. The gun thing is set up so that if they have been caught, it's guaranteed probable cause, and all you need to do is articulate that, and you raid them. That's what it seems like. Like, if Mike's been caught 10 in 30 days, they have probable cause. They just need to figure out how to articulate that, which doesn't make sense. I think it should be, if they have 10 fucking class 2s on mic in a month, it should be reasonable suspicion. And then they need some further proof to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, if I've been caught 10 times, they can start an investigation off that, not sign a warrant off that. That's how it should be. Too many class 2s means that it gives them a reason to look into me. And then once they find some proof of me doing something at my properties, then they get the warrant signed. But I think, like, mechanically speaking, and for the health of the server, I think that what it should be is that 30-day time period should just be reduced to a week. That's what I think. If you're caught 10 times in a week with class 2s, I think you've really fucked up and you deserve to be looked into very severely. You know, like, I honestly think that's a good number too. 10 times in a week, I think is like a very severe, you know, 5 times, you know, I think a number like that, maybe 7 times in a week. If you're caught more than once a day with a class 2 in a week, I think that probably, you know, like you got a stockpile that you can very easily access. If they catch Michael Manx every day with a class 2, he's getting these class 2s back to back to back to back. Like, he's pulling them out for somewhere that, you know, he must be able to go frequently, somewhere where there must be a stock. It'll be enough to have a full war, and then if it goes to the point where yeah. I think, like, I agree that the class 2, like, number counting should exist. I just think it's too long being a month. Like, a month is insanity. A month is insanity. Because it just means that, yeah, I don't know. If it's 3 in a month, right? Which is, I've heard people say that. If it's 3 in a month, it just means that every single one of us has met that criteria always. You know, like, that will never fall off. If it's being caught with 3 class 2s in a month, I will never escape that. Getting caught once every 10 days is way, like, that's like such a, like, the besties have got to be in the top fucking, you know, we are like the fucking 100th percentile for, like, not getting caught. We have to be. Like, for the amount of crimes done, right? For the amount of crimes done, I refuse to believe that there's any other group that gets caught as infrequently as us for the severity of the crime and the amount done, right? So the fact that, in my opinion, we do the most and get caught the least, and that could be wrong, right? But if we're not the number 1, we're the number 2, and if we're not the number 2, we're the number 3, right? For doing the most and getting caught the least, it basically means that we are perpetually stuck in a cycle of, they could raid me for my 3-gun charges today, and then next week or in 2 weeks, I'll have been caught with another 3 class 2s, and they can do it again. You know, it's like never ending. Like, we can't escape that. There's no way. It's impossible. I think that if it's 3 per month, I think 3 per month would have made sense way early on. Like, when people first started, getting Glocks and Civ pistols. This charge makes sense when they were rare. It doesn't make sense when they're common. You know, like, when people first started hitting ammunition crates and they got their first Glocks, it would have been so much more risky if you got caught with 3 guns in a month. Hey, like, where's it? Like, especially tampered. Like, maybe Civ pistols, no, but like tampered firearms. Like, if you were caught with 3 Glocks in a month, like when John Paul was still playing, that would have been crazy content. That would have upped the risk so much. Because getting caught 3 times in a month, it was hard, but it was definitely possible. Those first gang wars would have gone fucking crazy, bro. Because, like, you know, the people that got caught would be basically getting, you know, like, foundation wiped back then. When the foundations were relatively soft, you know, like, just starting.